Welcome to the Daily Plunge. We are in the book of 2 Samuel in the Old Testament, chapter 7, verses 1 through 17. Now, we're told that the king, David, has finally settled into his palace. He has expanded his kingdom. He's conquered his enemies. He's able to put his feet up. And he thinks, you know what? He looks around his wonderful palace. He's like, look how well I'm doing. Well, now that I'm settled in, I guess I'll get around to building a temple for the Lord who has blessed me. And so he asks his prophet Nathan about this. And Nathan says, well, it seems good to me, so do whatever you think is right to you. Now, the thing is it's not David's choice. It's not Nathan's choice. It's God's choice about building a temple. And the Lord is not one to be manipulated or confined or controlled. And so in the night, Nathan the prophet receives a dream from the Lord. And he says, you go tell that servant of mine, I don't need him to build me a house. I don't need a house. But instead, I want him to build me a kingdom of priests, basically is what this is all about. Is he says, instead, I want to build his dynasty. And so God intends to honor David and Israel by having an everlasting dynasty. And this promissory covenant, this promise to David is kind of outlandish. I mean, he's promising to give David an eternal dynasty because he has served the Lord faithfully. But you got to stop and wonder, David? I mean, this guy, he messes up big time in a lot of different ways. I mean, has the Lord jumped the shark on this, gone out too far on the limb before he should have? Not really. Because it seems like the only folks that God's got to work with are sinners. And God has no problem with that. And he's going to make a promise through David to bring about an eternal, not a human, not an earthly, but an eternal dynasty. And there are no conditions on this. Even though David has served the Lord in righteousness and a right relationship and has been loyal to the Lord, he's not perfect, and there are no conditions. This is unilateral on the part of the Lord, and its intention. There is a built-in tension in this promise because we know that there is this unyielding, relentless human bent towards sin. David is going to fail. The descendants who come after him are going to fail. So, but yet God says, I'm going to work through David and his family. Now, the Lord goes on to say, it's not for David to build me a temple. I'm going to give that to his son. And one of the things I would ask is, we need to pray carefully about who God assigns a task, because maybe it's not your task to do. And if you're doing someone else's task, maybe you're getting in the way. But I think the main point of this whole passage is God will never withdraw from a relationship. The Lord is loyal in his love. And he promises David, and he promises all of us to have an eternal presence with him. Well, thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.